Hey guys, this is Tom, and I'm here with DraftMagic.com. I've made some changes to the Puresteel collar deck. Ended up taking it to the GP. Unfortunately, didn't do all that well, but I did have the pleasure of running into a fellow Puresteel player, actually one of my viewers. So it was a real pleasure running into you and seeing a different deck list, and I just wanted to, really wish you the best. And it looks like I think you'd mentioned that you almost made top 64, so really good to see the Puresteel collar doing well. But anyways, I made a few changes here to the deck. What I am looking at doing is kind of more of a combo build and kind of getting more value out of a new card called Cloud Shift. And the nice thing here is it gives us even more ways to really kind of perpetuate the combo. Once we have a Trinket Mage in play, we're able to quickly and efficiently pick up two collars, and as you might have noticed if you've played the deck before, it really does take kind of the double collar there to really kind of get the extra value that you're looking for out of the Mortar Pod collar interaction. So having the ability to just off one Trinket Mage pick up two collars instantly, I think is really going to give this version of the deck a little bit more reach. In addition, some of the other changes I've added Blade Splicer. I've kind of been toying around with adding him into the deck for quite some time, just because number one, he's a human, he helps the combo. Number two, he creates an artifact creature, which helps Metalcraft. And then also, he has such a good interaction with Cloud Shift. So being able to Cloud Shift Blade Splicer or Trinket Mage, being able to do the same on a Snapcaster, and even with other humans to really, pump up Champion of the Parish even more to be able to protect our Puresteel Paladin. I think that Cloud Shift is exactly what we want to be doing in this deck. So I'm really excited to see, how the changes to the build are going to affect the win percentage here. The other thing that I've done is I've made some changes to the land. I took out Moorland Haunt just because it wasn't doing enough for us. We only have 18 creatures in the deck, so it's not that creature-heavy build, and also the land is so tight, at 21 land here, that being able to kind of spend the time using the Moorland Haunt is not exactly what we want to be doing. But Caverns of Souls is exactly what we want. And the nice thing is that it does actually kind of fix the mana a little bit, especially when you have Trinket Mage and double white cost Puresteel Paladin. And then in addition, in the board, I made some important changes. The biggest change is really adding Jace Memory Depth. One of the matchups that I had been having trouble with was the Solar Flare matchup, Blue-Black Control. Basically just any form of control where if you couldn't quite get the combo going and they could start one-for-one-ing you and you just kind of stalled out, having another angle of attack against the control deck is so important. And this way being able to drop a Jace after they tap out to Curse of Death's Hold or Day of Judgment you or whatever the case may be, can very quickly and efficiently end the game for you. The other thing is that, obviously because you're going to be filling up their graveyard, it's very important that you have the Grafdigger Cage lock set up already. So, if you just try to blindly do a Jace, they can just blow you out and, use their graveyard. But if you can get the graveyard or the Grafdigger's Cage set up, you should be in a good place to execute the strategy. So, really excited to see how the deck's going to do, and we will see you for a two-man queue here shortly. Okay, so here we are for a two-man queue. And, yep, I'm very excited to see kind of, how this deck plays out now with the changes. So this hand is just fine. It's not ideal because, we don't have that much gas. But we do have the turn 1 champion. We're very happy to see that. So I'm happy to give this a try, see where it takes us. Oh, it looks like the settings here are a little bit messed up, so I want to make sure we have all of our settings correct. Okay. one of the unfortunate problems that I run into is when I make when I need to restart the computer, I've been having trouble, and it's been resetting all of my settings, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. So unfortunately here we need to take out the Pilgrim, but should have been bashing in for 1 there. Still very excited to see kind of how this plays out. So definitely happy to drop champion here, and then continuing just to take out all of his guys here. Very happy to do this. So most likely up against Frights. Or a Birthing Pod. So now what we want to do is definitely get Trinket Mage into Grafdigger's cage as soon as possible. He's probably still going to get 1 hit off, but since we can't drop Trinket Mage and play Grafdiggers this turn, I think our plan is going to be gather and the next turn into Trinket Mage with Grafdigger backup. And then after that we can start recurring the gather for even more value. So hopefully we don't lose the game with him at 1, because that would be unfortunate with the misclick early on. Okay, Geist is going to be pretty ineffective here as soon as, I guess he's going to go for most likely Fiend Hunter at this point. Okay, there's the Fiend Hunter. Which is, well, certainly annoying, is, you know, as long as we can stop the chain here, we're certainly happy with that. Here, I mean, like, we could trade, just because we can, you know, we can gather again. Which, I mean, isn't terrible, but I think that I'd rather just block with Snapcaster and get a little bit more value, especially if we have the ability to start, you know, using some of the combo here, hopefully soon. So now our plan is Trinket Mage into Grafdiggers. And unfortunately, I mean, we weren't able to Snapcast or gather first, you know, but it's more important to turn off the Birthing Pod by a very large margin. So I think here we probably trade Trinket Mage for Stringer Geist on his next attack step. We could always sit around and wait for Snapcaster to do it, but no real reason. I mean, this way, if he gets our Grafdigger's cage with like Acidic Slime, then we can have like backup into Gather. So not a whole lot of point of playing the Snapcaster just yet. Looks like our opponent is pretty deep in the tank. Not really sure what to do right here, which we're very happy to see. Most pod decks actually have almost no answers to Game 1 Grafdigger's Cage, just because they frankly don't expect it. I think they have one main deck Acidic Slime, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, so definitely still kind of in the tank here. But yeah, definitely trading Trinket Mage here for Geist. And now I think he's probably going to fail to understand how Green Sun actually works. Hopefully. Oh, I guess he has Huntmaster. And like there we could have like equipped both guys and shot him with Mortar Pod, but I feel like getting another Mortar Pod out is just fine there. We want to have like a human if we're able to start going off. I suppose it's really about the same. I mean, if we have the Paladin, we can draw the extra card there. And unfortunately, he does have the O-ring for our Grafdigger's Cage, which is unfortunate. So I guess, you know, some versions of like Bant will still have the Oblivion Ring. Now we're in a pretty rough spot. On the good news, we can now Snapcaster into Gather, but unfortunately, we'll be facing down. What's the 4-drop? A Huntmaster? Yeah, I think he goes Huntmaster here. However, I mean, we're just going to kill it, so that's fine. Well, problem is we want to like Snapcaster into Gather. We don't quite have enough mana, and this thing has to die this turn, absolutely. So I think the play, unfortunately, has to just be equip, kill Huntmaster. Like otherwise, like we Snapcaster into Gather and start bashing in, but it's just, I mean, having Huntmaster dead I think is so much better. With the cage down, though, he does have us kind of on the ropes here. There's the... oh, conscripts. Interesting. So I guess conscripts into Titan? And this is most likely game here at this point. It's pretty much all over except for the tiers. Yep. Okay, so going into game 2, what is our plan against Pod? Well, we definitely want to bring in the other Grafdigger's Cage. So, bring in the cage. Definitely bringing in War and Peace, O-Ring. Purge is still quite relevant. Revoke. Ratchet Bomb is actually not too bad against him. It hits all of his low drop stuff. He has a lot of birds. Stuff like that. I'm not 100% sold on Ratchet Bomb. But the question is, what do we take out? Well, we definitely want Border Pod. I think the collar is still very effective against him with our combo. So I think if we're going to be cutting... Well, first of all, we're cutting Snapcaster because we want to have access to Grafdigger's Cage. Then we'll probably cut Ponder next. So we're still getting a lot of value out of Cloud Shift. Let's see. Well, I suppose like if we're setting up our combo, we probably don't want to be ratchet bombing our own collars. So we can probably cut Bomb. Brings us down to 62. And then I guess do we want to have Blade Splicer or War and Peace more? I suppose we definitely want to have both, but are there other cards we can cut here? I think we definitely want the gut shots. We want the collars, the Grafdigger's Cages. Yeah, I guess we can maybe like shave a Gather, potentially. And maybe like a Blade Splicer. Alright, so this hand is a little bit odd. We don't really have that much action, but we do have action on 3, but the problem is we don't have much early game. Still, I mean, we can take our Mortar Pod token and use sort of War and Peace on it if we have to. And we do have the Mortar Pod for his birds, which I'm very happy about. Okay, so there's Trinket Mage for Grafdiggers. It's looking better already. We can just slow him down long enough. Okay, there's Geist. Not too worried about Geist just because we're going to go Trinket Mage into Grafdiggers, so that's fine. And like here, just because we have to have Grafdiggers immediately, I think what the play is just Trinket Mage. Double Geist, okay. So now we just drop Grafdiggers into Puresteel and then sit. I think that's the play. Then next turn, War and Peace equip, get there. So now we're definitely going to trade Trinket Mage for Strangler Geist. Try to stabilize with Puresteel. Hopefully he doesn't have the naturalize to get there. Or maybe he just has Ancient Grudge. Either way, would be very happy. I guess he could just blow us out if he goes naturalize right now. But I think we're at low enough life that we sort of have to risk it. Okay, so this right here is telling me that he has Restoration Angel, which is definitely kind of annoying. But I think the play is still just go ahead and drop sword get in. Although Restoration Angel is definitely a royal pain in the ass. So then he like angels his Stranglegeist and blocks, which is fine. We go to 9, unless he's got more business next turn. I think that's still fine. Here comes the angel. There it is. So I assume he blocks here. Yeah. So we just like O-ring whatever he plays, and potentially even like Trinket Mage into the combo if we have to. Unless it's acidic slime. Ugh, yuck. What a pain in the ass. Well, luckily he went for the Graph Diggers, which actually in this case is pretty good for us. I mean, now we just... Let's see, so if we if we Trinket Mage into Collar, what are our plays? We could go Puresteel O-Ring and then set up next turn. I mean O-Ring attack and then Puresteel. Or we could go Trinket Mage, Collar, kill Acidic Slime, and then how does that play out? We bash in, take some damage. I think I kind of like the Puresteel Paladin play. Well, I mean, here's what's going to happen. He's going to go next turn. He's going to play the Birthing Pod, and then he's going to Birthing Pod his Restoration Angel to Acidic Slime the O-Ring, which will then bring out the other Acidic Slime, which will then get our Sword of War and Peace. So I think having the thing actually dead is actually a little bit better, considering what's going to happen. That's a worst case scenario, but I think that we have to assume worst case here. So then, like, he just Acidic Slimes anyways and gets our War and Peace. Is that much better? Well, then, I mean, he just has like 1 Acidic Slime versus 2. But we also have less business. Well, I think we're going to chance it. Just O-Ring here. And then see what he does. We definitely need a life. Okay. Oops, we don't have Lovecraft anymore. Okay. So now we have to assume he goes Birthing Pod into Acidic Slime, into Get There, Get There. Okay, so I guess he just has nothing. So he's got the Stone Nothing, which is really good for us, because now we can start comboing off. And there's Blade Splicer just in case. I mean, like, we could go Graph Digger's Cage here and just, like, lock him out, I suppose. It's probably fine. Like, I mean, like, what happens if we don't? Well, he can really blow us out if we don't. Although, I suppose we could just kill his guy. But I'd rather just O-Ring it. I mean, we draw 2 cards off the Collar. I think we don't just lose if we get Collar. I think Collar's... It's a little bit maybe the greedier play, but I think it's probably also maybe the better play. Because let's see, never mind, yeah, getting collar is definitely right because we just kill him. That's right. Okay, so now let's see, 2, 4, yeah, okay, he's dead. That works. Okay, so that worked out pretty well. Do we want to change anything up here? More blade splicers to gather. I think we're fine, actually. This is actually kind of a nice split, I think. Maybe Spellskite, just to like redirect like the acidic slime nonsense. Might be better. Not sure what to cut though, to be honest. I mean, I kind of like Purge because he's got Huntmaster and Inferno Titan, and Revoke is good against his pods. I mean, I suppose Revoke maybe is the weaker card here, just because like Grafdigger shuts down all of them, and this way if he has 2, we still lose. So like maybe like Spellskite's better here. It's kind of, I'm not really sure about that, but. I think being able to like redirect his O-rings on our Grafdigger's cage is maybe a little bit more important. It's always nice too when you do the combo against someone who's never seen it before. They don't really know how to react or sideboard, and you end up taking most of the rest of the time. Okay, here we are for game 3. Definitely can't keep this hand, which is too bad because we've got some good action in it. But this hand looks just fine. We have a lot of our money cards here. We are only at 1 land, but we are in the draw. And I think this hand is strong enough to merit keeping a 1-lander here. So we will see. Mostly just because this deck essentially operates on 2 land. But never really know about the 1-land keeps here. So we could pay for it, that's for sure. But I think having the Puresteel in hand with action is worth it enough so that if we miss even 1 land drop, it might still be worth it. Now, luckily he didn't have the pod there, or at least we didn't see it. And unfortunately, not hitting that land is going to be a little rough. Part of the other thing is that, you know, we were at 6, going to 5 could significantly weaken our hand, and it's just, I'm not sure if it was worth it there. Sort of risk-reward kind of thing. Now we're going to start paying for it, though, especially because he does have a very strong draw here with the pod into Fiend Hunter gets you play. And now we pretty much need to almost raw dog the Grafdiggers here to have any chance of coming back into this game. Since he already has pod active, no reason to shut down his mana right now. We just want to try to chump and then slow it down a little bit and get his birds. Because he's just going to Fiend Hunter into Huntmaster here anyways. Or he could just Acidic Slime and just... Or... Okay, that works too. And I guess he does not want the birds to die anytime soon. Yeah, not quite enough, not fast enough here. So let's see, next time we chump, we take 8, go to 3. I think we're drawing dead at this point, unfortunately. So didn't quite turn out there, but I do like the changes in the deck here. I think it's going to be a positive change. Game 2 is a lot of fun. We were able to combo off against him, and I am going to try to put together some more videos of the new build here, but I'd encourage you guys to test it out, see how you like it. If you still favor more of like an aggressive build, you can certainly look to like the straight Puresteel with you know, kind of the more metalcraft version, using more of like the flare husks and vault scourges, that kind of thing. But if you do like the combo build, which I certainly favor myself, I think this is going to be a positive positive direction for the deck. So we will see you next time. Also, for those of you here viewing my video on draftmagic.com, the majority of my work is really on my own YouTube channel, and I would encourage you guys to come check it out if you like my stuff. My YouTube channel is TCW1396, and it's got the entire evolution of my Puresteel collar deck, where I was able to really kind of build the deck, and then top 4 a PTQ with it, and then sort of all the different permutations and sort of where it went. So definitely check it out if you like my stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.